It is Obi-Wan Kenobi Wednesday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Way back in junior high, the gym teacher would insist that before our exercise we would warm up and then afterward we would cool down. We're going to follow a similar outline today. We're going to begin with Mahayoga's wisdom warm-up because the view of reality that supports letting go is the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. By the way, welcome to this morning's live stream. Feel free to say hello or share your enthusiasm for the latest geeky media. I'm very excited about Agatha all along. Let us review an explanation of the 12-syllable mantra. Please chant with me. I invoke teachers on loving action, on mindfulness and meditation, as well as Hungsvi supporting release at the Benzatantric. Guru teaches Pema enlightenment and Siddhi abilities who may be mastered by all. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. And now we're going to do this 4 times. Please chant with me. May we see how all circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. We're going to take all these words and compress them down to just 6 syllables that we're going to divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. And by divide, I mean silently divide. That's right, folks. No chainsaws are required. As we breathe in, we recite these 6 syllables. As we exhale, we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath. Om Ahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 May we feel how all bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. Whoops. Let's see what's going on here. Yep. Okay. Let's hit this button. Do the old drag a Rooney. And now let's check my work. Make sure it's on the screen. Otherwise it would be lame. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 May we hear how all interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 May we feel her while perceiving, emoting, intending, thinking, recalling, and imagining minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 I look forward to turning to the seventh and eighth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, sometimes described as Hatha Yoga's mindfulness and meditation, after approximately 30 seconds, after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Ati Yoga's mindfulness and meditation is the car that drives upon the highway of Anu Yoga's energy work. There are many flavors of energy work. My favorite is Mudra's finger gesture-oriented energy work. So we're going to collect our first of 4 collections of 8 rounds, or I should say 8 sets of 8 rounds. So allow me to break it on down. What if a round was simply 1 inhalation followed by 1 exhalation? We could collect 8 rounds on our right hand. Every time we inhale, we could advance our right thumb. Over the span of 8 inhalations, we could articulate our thumb thusly, beginning with the little finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can multiply this by 8 and count sets of 8 upon our left hand. 1 set of 8, 2, 3, 4 sets of 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 8. And then we multiply that by our knuckles. And so right now, since we are on our first collection, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, and place both these hands palms up in our lap so that our thumbs can happily count creases. Now, if this seems a bit complex, you're 100% right. Fortunately, repetition is the mother of skill. Come to these live streams once every 12 hours or so, and within a week or 2, you could master each technique that we're practicing this morning. A fringe benefit of working with our little knuckle is that it gently invites our subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Now that we know what to do with our fingers and our breathing, let us explore what to do with that 3-pound supercomputer between our ears. Please chant with me. The nudity of the octuple couple sporting in tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to watching the antics of mind that is the mindfulness hidden within each inhalation and revealed by the demonstrative pronoun this. Fabulous. There is so much confusion pertaining to mindfulness and meditation, and I feel that nothing dispels it quite like neuroscience. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are accessing the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us notice in a very special way, to help us notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. But notice what? Notice mind's antics, of perception, like seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like, including emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. Now, you might say, well, why don't I do this all the time? Because 9 times out of 10, our cerebral cortex is busy cock-blocking our sympathetic nervous system, which is frowned upon in polite society. Fortunately, by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, we remind the cerebral cortex to cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system. This is what is meant, or this is what the late Tuku Tundap meant when he explained that mindfulness was simply watching the antics of mind. Did you know that every time we exhale, we automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system divided by the lower third and the upper third, I should say divided into the lower third and upper third of our spinal cord? This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. And that's fortunate because the late Chagdud Tulku taught that meditation was simply relaxing into the nature of mind. So much so that what we perceived during our previous inhalation could begin to fleetingly feel a trifle less solid, less permanent, and less defining, and all the easier to let go of. Once again, how do we get our brain to cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system? By silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Let's do that together as a team right now. So, if the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist philosophy, or Buddhist meditation, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. We come now to our second collection of 8 sets of 8 rounds. We keep track of it by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger in our lap. Doing so gently invites our subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our abdomen. Please chant with me. The translucence of the all good... Take 2. The translucence of all good... The translucence of all good mother and father depicted in paintings remind us of the fleeting experience of impermanence and non-graspability, so common to the relaxation into the nature of mind that is meditation, hidden within each exhalation and revealed by the monosyllabic verbies. Quick reminder, the key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, and the key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. We come now to a third of 4 collections of 8 sets of 8 rounds. To keep track of this third collection, we turn to our right middle finger and rest the great knuckle at the base of the right middle finger upon the tip of the left middle finger, placing both these hands palms up in our lap so that our thumbs can happily count creases. Please chant with me. The beauty of Kuntu's Longpo Yabyam reminds us of the highest love, which is not the product of contrite focus or analysis, but rather the spontaneous side effect of the mindfulness and meditation that calm our anxious and aggressive amygdala and stimulate our empathetic anterior cingulate gyrus. Mindfulness is simply watching the antics of mind and is best done by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Meditation is relaxing into the nature of mind and is best performed while silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. Good morning, Jay. How are things in beautiful Massachusetts? We come now to our fourth collection of 8 sets of 8 rounds. We keep track of it by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger in our lap, palms up so that our thumbs can happily count creases. Please chant with me. The stability with which God lives among us, and the abandon with which cloud white sports, reminds us of the scented spontaneity with which our choices, utterances, and deeds could flow in the effortless effort of the sixfold of the Buddha's eightfold path. Allow me to remind you that every time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, it becomes easier for us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. Additionally, every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, it becomes much, much easier for us to experience that which we perceived during our previous inhalation to be fleetingly less solid, less permanent, and even less defining. No, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. J. We now return to mantra meditation. I invoke teachers on loving action, on mindfulness and meditation, as well as Hung View supporting release and the Benzatantric. Guru teaches Pema enlightenment and siddhi abilities who may be mastered by all. During our inhalation, silently and mentally, we can recite relaxing into this. During our exhalation, we can silently and mentally, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant the 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath. Om Ahum Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 We now come to Mahayoga's compassionate cool down, which one might describe as mantra loving kindness. Why? Because loving kindness comprises 55% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise and kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confesses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. We now come to our fifth of, let's see here. Well, we're now going to touch the tip of our little, the tip of our thumb to the tip of our little finger and rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. May we be a font of blessing for all upon who we think or who think of us. May all minds of all beings know be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or Ramajan Buddha symbolized by a Tikle one Sura Masiro Bija Mantra. Om Ahum Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 The mental morality of kind intention is the second fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us now touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left ring finger and rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our subtle energies to coalesce at the navel region of our mid-abdomen. May we be a font of blessing for all who we listen to, speak to, or speak of, and for all who listen to us, or speak to us, or speak of us. May all relationships or speech of all beings know be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddha speech symbolized by your multisyllabic mantra. Om Minzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 The interpersonal morality of kind communication is the third fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Let us gently touch the tip of our left thumb to our left middle finger. Thus gently inviting our subtle energies to coalesce at our heart. May we be a font of blessing for all who we touch or who touch us. May all bodies or forms of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha's statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined yet dominant archetype of enlightenment such as Kuntu Zangpo. Om Minzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 The physical morality of kind conduct is the fourth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. We can, as we touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left index finger, we could rest this left hand upon our left thigh. Doing so, we could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at our crown. May we be a font of blessing for all who we see or who see us. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safe fortune or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or Vanti. That's right, may all beings be freed from the tyranny of sexism and racism and homophobia, is it classism, fascism, jingoism, and genocide. Om Mahum Minzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 The circumstantial morality of kind commerce is the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. I hope you have found this to be beneficial. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours or so, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.